Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the 6th inning bosses and give them a Chewie review. How the Chewie reviews work is we're going to rank the card 1 through 5 Chewies based on how good of a card I think it is, and we'll go over their real life statistics based on the player that's on the card. Since there are 2 Signature Series cards in Greg Maddux and Chewie Rollins, we'll go over their whole career. As for Stan Musial, we're going to go over his 1948 MVP season, and I'm going to include some of his career accolades because Stan the Man was just what his nickname was. He was pretty much the man for the era that he played within baseball. As well as going over real life statistics, I'm going to do an in-depth review of all the attributes on the card as well as the quirks, and kind of give my 2 cents about what I truly think about the card and why they got the Chewie rating that I give them. Also, guys, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you know whenever I'm uploading videos, as well as comment down below what you guys think about these 6 inning bosses, who you guys are going to select, as well as do you think that one guy is better than the other. Maybe you're going to select Chewie Rating because you need a shortstop, but you really think that Stan the Man is a better card. I would love to hear from you guys. Let's get into it. Greg Maddux. The first of 3 bosses is a 99 overall starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, Greg Maddux. He's right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He has a 5-pitch repertoire that consists of a sinker, circle change, cutter, 4-seam fastball, and a curveball. His sinker is going to go about 92 miles an hour max. His circle change goes 77 miles an hour. Cutter goes 91 to 93. The 4-seam fastball might be able to hit 95, and then the curveball goes 70 miles an hour. Greg Maddux is one of the only pitchers in the game that has perfect control for 2 of his pitches. Most pitchers maybe have it for 1, but for 2 of his pitchers, the circle change and sinker, he has perfect control. A lot of people think this is one of the end game pitchers in the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about whether or not you think this Greg Maddux is an end game pitcher. He definitely has some great change of speed to his pitches. I mean, even if he's only throwing 92 miles an hour, the fact that his curveball only goes 70, that's 22 miles an hour of difference. So I think that's a pretty good change of speed for a pitcher. Going over Greg Maddux's career as we do with the Signature Series cards, as I've already mentioned, is his win-loss record was .355 and .227. He had an ERA for his career of 3.16, an ERA plus of 132. He pitched 5,008.1 innings. He has 3,371 strikeouts. He has a 1.143 whip. He has a WAR of 106.6, and he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. He's also considered by many to be one of the most accurate and efficient pitchers to ever step on a Major League Baseball mound. I mean, I think he had a game, as one of the moments showed in the showdown, where he pitched a complete game in 76 pitches. Like, that's ridiculous. That's how accurate of a pitcher he was. He was never anybody that was blowing guys away. He wasn't a power pitcher. He was what the true definition of a control artist is. On top of being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014, he has won 4 Cy Youngs. He has 4 ERA titles. He's an 8-time All-Star. He won the World Series with the Atlanta Braves in 1995. And he's an 18-time Gold Glove winner. I believe he has won the most Gold Gloves ever in Major League Baseball. I understand he's a pitcher, and kind of if other pitchers don't come off the mound and field it well, it's hard for him to win a Gold Glove. But I believe he has won the most Gold Gloves ever, which is kind of impressive. I think this match is going to be somebody that we're going to have to add to the Gold Glove team whenever we get that series fired back up, whenever I get a little bit more time. Now that we've gone over Greg Maddux's ridiculous statistics as a player, and obviously one of the reasons why he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, let's go over the card itself. He has 121 stamina. He has 97 hits per 9, 93 K per 9, 105 base on balls per 9, 95 home run per 9, 100 pitching clutch, 97 control, 66 velocity, 99 break. So my biggest issue with this Greg Maddux is I think his hits per 9 should be higher. I think at 97 hits per 9, they did this man no justice. I mean, he doesn't even have 97 control. I get you can prestige a card and he'll get to 99 control, but the fact that he even started out at 97 when he's probably the most accurate pitcher to ever do it is kind of ridiculous to me. I do think they could have made his hits per 9 a little bit higher, especially because his Ks per 9 at 93 is actually pretty fair, being that he struck out 3,371 guys and about a little bit over 5,000 innings. So it's not like he was, like I said, blowing the ball past people. He was definitely a pitch to contact type pitcher, got you to ground out, hitting a double plays, but he threw kind of a dead ball, kind of like that Oral Hershiser's card in the face of the franchise, where whenever you're facing him, he's not really a burner on the mound, but he's pretty hard to hit with the sinker and mixing up of pitches. Greg Maddux is going to be the same thing. I think that's the best comparison in the game for him. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are soft hands, sniper, pressure cooker, unbreakable, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, control artist, grounded, illusionist. So he does have some pretty good quirks when it comes to his pitches. Obviously, like I said, control artist, that's what Maddox was. I actually really like this card, and I think, like I said, he's going to play exactly like Hershiser. My biggest concern is that his hits per 9 are just a little bit lower than I would like them to see. Because of this, I'm going to give Greg Maddux 4.5 Chewies. I think if his hits per 9 were higher, I'd give him the 5 Chewies, which is obviously the highest rating you can have, but I'm going to have to go with 4.5 Chewies. I do think this is an endgame pitcher. When you prestige him, I think that he can definitely be the 4th or 5th man in your rotation for the rest of the season. But the 97 hits per 9, like I said, just doesn't do the card justice. It's kind of a disappointment for me, and that's kind of where I'm going to sit at with it. I'd also go check out Oral Hershiser if you like this Greg Maddux card when you're pitching with him. That's another card you can kind of pick up, same type of pitcher, and he's also for free. Stan Musial. The next boss is the St. Louis great, 99 overall, 1948 MVP Stan Musial. He's a right fielder with secondary positions of first base, left field, and center field. He's left-handed throwing, left-handed batting. He has diamond hitting and bronze defense. In 1948, when he won the MVP, he probably had one of the most ridiculous seasons in Major League Baseball history. When I read this stat line, you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. He batted .376. He had an on-base percentage of .450. He had a slugging of .702, an OPS of 1.152, an OPS plus of 200. He had 429 total bases. He had 230 hits. All of those numbers I just read, he led the league in. Like, not just the National League. He led Major League Baseball in those numbers. He also had 39 home runs, had 131 RBIs. He had 135 runs. He had 42 doubles, 18 triples, and an 11.3 WAR. All of those numbers I just read, except for the home runs, he led the league in. So he had a ridiculous year. Besides winning the MVP, he was an all-star. They didn't have like Gold Glove or anything then. They didn't have Silver Slugger. Some of the other accolades he won throughout his career was he won another 2 MVPs, so he had 3 MVPs total. He won 3 World Series championships. He was a 24-time All-Star. He had 7 batting titles, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1969. So Stan the Man very much earned his name. Because like I said, in his era of baseball, he just pretty much was the man in the National League. Let's look at the attributes on his card. He has 125 max contact against righties and lefties. He has 98 power versus righties, 121 power versus lefties, 118 vision, 94 discipline, 125 clutch. Looking at his fielding, he has 72 fielding, 73 arm strength, 70 arm accuracy, 62 reaction, 47 speed, 25 stealing, and 20 base running aggressiveness. So as you guys can see, he might be the best hitting card in the game with the max contact and ridiculous power, especially lefty on lefty. That's kind of unique. And you can prestige this card like the other cards, so he pretty much will have max power against lefties, and against righties he'll have 101 power as well as 121 vision. So he becomes an even more ridiculous card once you prestige him. The biggest downside of this card is his speed at 47 speed, although I'm not sure why he had 47 speed because he has 18 triples this season. If the card was based off of his whole career, I can see that argument for a slower Stan Musial card. However, he had 18 triples, which means you have to have some sort of wheels. I get they were playing like Forbes and really big random parks then, but I mean, he led the league with 18 triples, so I'd assume he has decent speed at least then. Well, let's look at the card's quirks. His quirks are hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, walker, pressure cooker, unbreakable. So he has the great hitting quirks. He doesn't really have anything for fielding, so that's kind of a downside. But I mean, you're getting him because he's a nasty hitter, not because he's the best fielder. I think with him going to first base would be your best move. He's not the biggest target, but he does have decent reaction, decent enough fielding, I think, to play first base. and he obviously just mashes. Now, for the Stan Musial 5 Chewies, I mean, you can't argue with the 125 contact, the ridiculous power and vision. He's going to have a tremendous PCI at all levels of the game. He's going to absolutely mash, and he has a pretty glitchy swing. You guys let me know if he deserved the 5 Chewie rating. I know his defense is a little bit lackluster compared to maybe what you would want, but I really think that his defense will be more than sufficient and his bat will make up for any of the misses he might make on defense. Jimmy Rollins. So the last of 3 bosses is the Signature Series shortstop, Jimmy Rollins for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's 99 overall. He's right-handed throwing. He's a switch hitter. He has diamond hitting, diamond defense, no secondary positions. He can only play shortstop in your lineup. Being that this is a Signature Series card, we're going to go over Jimmy Rollins' entire career. Although I think this card is more based off of his MVP season because it does have the age 28 on there, and that was the season he won the MVP. Because honestly, I don't think Jimmy Rollins should have a 99 overall card if you're going just based off of his career. So I'm assuming they kind of base this off of his MVP season more than his career, where he had like 20 doubles, 20 triples, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and he just was ridiculously well above average in every aspect of hitting that year, as well as a Gold Glove fielder. And he played shortstop, and that kind of adds something because a lot of shortstops aren't great hitters. But looking at his career numbers, he batted .264, he had an on-base percentage of .324, he had a slugging of .418, he had an OPS of .743, an OPS plus of 95, which is actually below 100, which means his OPS is below average. He has 2,455 hits, 231 home runs, 936 RBIs, 470 stolen bases with a WAR of 47.6. He won the MVP in 2007, as I mentioned. He won the World Series in 2008 with the Phillies. He's a 4-time Gold Glover, 3-time All-Star, and 1-time Silver Slugger. So, this Jimmy Rollins, I've already mentioned it once. I'll mention it one more time. I don't think he should have a 99 overall card. Jimmy Rollins was a very good player for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then after that, he was just average to above average. He was not a 99 overall player. You guys can argue with me. You guys can shun me in the comments. I'm just telling the truth. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. Now, in a video game, Jimmy Rollins is nasty. He has one of the best swings in the game. Not 91 overall, Jimmy Rollins mashes. But he just isn't justified to have a 99 overall card just because he's a fan favorite. But it is what it is. They put it in the game. Looking at his attributes, he has 95 contact versus righty, 100 contact versus lefty, 77 power from each side, as in left-handed, right-handed pitching. He's 107 vision, 91 clutch. He has 107 vision, 91 discipline, 102 clutch. He can bunt the ball pretty well if you need him to at 79 bunting. And then for his fielding, this is where the card really shines. 90 fielding, 92 arm strength, 88 arm accuracy, 87 reaction with 93 speed, 97 stealing, and 97 base running aggressiveness. So this Rollins is going to hit the ball hard into the gaps. He's going to be fast. He's going to be the ideal shortstop in the game, I think, for most people. He's not going to be a power guy. I don't think he's going to be a guy that absolutely mashes for you. I think he's going to be in most people's like first or second spot in their lineup because he's a switch hitter. I would assume a lot of people are going to lead him off, maybe bat him 9th or 8th. I'm not really sure. But I really do like this Jimmy Rollins, and I know a lot of people's holes in their team is at shortstop. However, in ranked seasons, a lot of guys use their cap because essentially you can make a Jimmy Rollins, well, actually even a better version of Jimmy Rollins with your cap and some equipment. So I'm not sure what the true value of Jimmy Rollins is when it comes to that aspect of being a shortstop, other than I think he might be the best shortstop in the game right now. I think there's a few arguments like that Robin Yount probably has just as good of attributes as this Jimmy Rollins, but he's not a switch hitter. So I don't know. Compared to the other two bosses, I think that Jimmy Rollins is a pretty decent card. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are Hitting Machine, Bomber, 20/20 Vision, Walker, Soft Hands, Quick Reflexes, Cannon, Sniper, Speedster, Thief, Pressure Cooker, Unbreakable, Bunt Master. So he has a plethora of quirks. He has the 3 big hitting quirks that you want, the Hitting Machine, Bomber, and Walker. He has the great defensive quirks with Soft Hands, Quick Reflexes, Cannon, Sniper. So, I mean, he's a very well-rounded card. I think a lot of people are going to pick this card, or at least try to pick this card up, just because of the way he plays in the game. Personally, I really like this Jimmy Rollins. He has a glitchy swing. I think he has pretty good attributes. But I'm going to give him 4 Chewies. You guys might not agree with this, and I think that I might be understating it a little bit. He might be worth more like towards 4.5 Chewies. But I'm going with a solid 4 Chewies here. He doesn't have great contact numbers. He doesn't have amazing power numbers. Even Prestige, he's only going to be 80 for power. He's going to be he's only going to be 98 contact against righties. And I just feel like to give up the other two guys of Greg Maddux or Stan the Man, I don't know if it's worth picking up this Rollins. If you're a big ranked seasons guy, honestly, I would just make your cap a shortstop and a switch hitter, and you'll have a better version of Jimmy Rollins anyway. He is a great defensive dynamo, and I do think if you have a hole at shortstop, pick up Jimmy Rollins. All right, guys, this is the first inning of Program Bosses that I'm not sure who I'm going to pick. I don't know if I'm going to go with Greg Maddux, Stan Musial, or Jimmy Rollins. I'm not really sure. So I have my cap at shortstop. I don't know if I need the Jimmy Rollins. I think it'd almost be a waste of a pick for a card. I kind of have a hole at first base, but I have Eric Thames there right now. So Stan Musial might be the answer for that. I could always use another starting pitcher in the rotation in Greg Maddux. And I actually do pitch pretty well with the Oral Hershiser, and I think they're kind of similar in cards. I'm probably leaning towards Greg Maddux just because he's one of my favorite players growing up, and I think all these three cards are pretty equal. I know they had different Chewie ratings, but I really do think that all three of the guys are pretty useful. Probably going to go with the Greg Maddux, but if you guys need a starting pitcher, go with Greg Maddux. You need a first baseman, go with Stan Musial. If you need a shortstop, go with Jimmy Rollins. I mean, it's that simple. All three of these cards will get the job done for you. I don't know if you're going to find another guy with the same value as like a Jimmy Rollins if you need a shortstop. I think there's other guys that play shortstop in the game. I'd recommend Robin Yount or maybe making your cap. There's a lot of power guys at first base now. I'm sure they'll come out with another Lou Gehrig at some point in time that you can play at first base as well, which kind of pushes Stan Musial out of his spot. And you might have to put him in one of the corners of the outfield because I think Lou Gehrig has a better swing than Musial does. But it's really up to you guys. You guys let me know in the comments down below about what boss you're going to pick, what you guys think about their Chewie rating. That's going to do it for this video. You guys have a great day and be safe.